What's up, guys? Welcome back to Weekly Weird News.
Jesus Christ, you people really cannot be helped.
No.
Remember last week when we brought you up to speed on Malachi Love Robinson, that fake doctor in Florida who just can't seem to keep himself out of trouble? We all love hearing about how he continues to break the law and defraud the elderly in increasingly short-sighted and stupid ways, despite already facing a prolific amount of serious charges for someone his age. It's fun.
Yeah.
You love it. We love it. But you know what we don't love? Having hundreds of you spam us on Twitter nonstop with obviously fake bullshit stories. Something we spent the first 3 minutes of last week's episode trying to drill into your minds, clearly to no avail. Malachi Love Robinson did not escape from jail by dressing up as a prison guard. And if you thought for even a second that he did, well, I just found out about this really cool website that lets you gamble on CSGO skins. It's called etcscambling.com. Looks pretty cool. I've won a lot of money on it. You should definitely check it out. Tell all your friends.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, you just typed that into your search bar, didn't you? Jesus Christ, kid! Who let you onto the internet? There needs to be a system in place. Well, the show must go on, and so will our endless struggle to get you to stop believing everything you read on 9gag. Because there's plenty of actual weird shit going on in the world anyway. So let's take a trip down memory lane to a Weekly Weird News episode from all the way back in April of 2015. Can you believe we've been doing this show for almost 2 years? The 2-year anniversary is coming up really soon, I think.
It's like next week.
Anyways, back then we told you about Sergio Cannavaro, an Italian neurosurgeon and Metal Gear Solid character with some pretty lofty ambitions to perform the world's first ever head transplant, or more accurately, body transplant. He found a willing subject for his risky operation in a young man from Russia facing certain death for spinal muscular atrophy. And he gave himself 2 years to make his Frankenstein dream a reality, a deadline that is fast approaching. Are you sure this one's real?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
The lamestream medical science community has been from the start very skeptical of Dr. Cannavaro's plan, but that hasn't stopped him from putting a lot of work into preparing for the big operation. He's written several medical journal papers on his research. He's gotten a team of scientists from South Korea on board with his ideas. He's found a hospital in Vietnam willing to host the surgery, and he's been practicing his controversial plan on animals.
Oh, the son of a bitch!
And according to papers and videos that they've recently released, they might actually be onto something with all this madness.
I'm still, to call back to 2015, I'm still hoping he can do that 8-assed monkey we've all been waiting for that was invented on South Park. Anyways, this doesn't involve monkeys or asses, but in an experiment on rats where they've severed their spinal cords and then reattached them using their special newfangled method, 5 of the 8 rats in their test group were able to regain some mobility by a month later. And in a similar experiment on a dog, that's way too cute to be doing this kind of shit too, the dog regained most of its mobility a month after the procedure as well. You fucking nightmare-fueled son of a bitch! Leave the dogs out of this.
The dog's fine. Even
What a-
happier. He's got a new lease on life.
Ugh. New leash on life.
New leash on life.
Anyways, I guess it's cool that the dog can walk, but it's a small sample size, which, along with the lack of much detail in the research papers, isn't really doing anything to fix the skepticism about the whole thing from the medical community.
And skepticism's a pretty integral part of scientific research, especially when your end goal is to remove a person's head and attach it to another person's body. Probably a little more complicated than severing a rat's spinal cord, injecting some polyethylene glycol into the wound, and then sewing back up, though. But we, on the other hand, we're not scientists. We have no obligation to abide by their code of skepticism. So we say, congratulations, Dr. Cannavaro. Your goal of performing a human body transplant within the next year is still totally reckless and almost certainly doomed to fail. But science needs people like you who say, fuck the haters. And then you go and try shit that everyone thinks is impossible, and then you prove that it's slightly less impossible than originally thought. Maybe 10 years from now, you'll have the last laugh, probably on a much better body than what you would have had otherwise.
Yeah, it might work. Like, the nerves stay alive for a little while, so if you can get it stitched up fast enough, it'll still, like, go blah, 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 before it dies.
Yeah.
Or he can, like, twiddle its...
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from?
A little Weekend at Bernie's type situation.
Yeah.
There you go. That's fun. But speaking of scientific research gone deadly, not gone sexual, a group of Russian scientists, to be specific, working at a weather station on a tiny remote Arctic island are having a bit of a hard time currently as they're stuck indoors now that the weather station is surrounded by a dozen polar bears. Whoops! Obviously, this seems like a pretty normal risk for working on an extremely remote island in the Arctic, but apparently this goes beyond the normal, with the weather station's 5 workers trapped now since the end of August. And one of their dogs was eaten by a polar bear. So I guess there's
If
worse
Dr.
things.
Cannavaro was there, he would have gotten that dog all stitched
He
right
would
back
put
up.
the dog's body on the polar bear's head.
Isn't this fun?
It's cute. Polar dog.
Polar dog.
It's vicious and cute.
It's best of both worlds. I don't know if I'm Italian or Russian.
Yeah.
Both.
Perfect combination.
A resupplying ship will be bringing them some new supplies, including flares to scare the bears away because they ran out of those, as well as some replacement dogs. That's in like a month.
Just shoot them from the ship.
They can't.
They're protected?
Yeah, they're protected, even in Russia.
Jeez.
So yeah, until then, they've pretty much just got to hunker down and wait. The bears are also trapped on the island as well, if you look at it from their perspective, at least until November when it gets cold enough that the surrounding water freezes and they can get the hell off this stupid human island full of fucking humans. We don't want you here either. Meanwhile, one bear is reportedly sleeping just outside one of the station's windows, which has got to be pretty comforting. You can hear it breathe. It's just right out there.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not so different after all.
They've got friends now, cuddly friends.
No.
They should just slip out a couple Coca-Cola bottles. Those polar bears, they love
Yeah,
Coca-Cola.
that's probably what they're looking
As soon
for.
as you give those polar bears Coca-Colas, they're doing backflips and they're balancing on balls and having all kinds of fun.
Yeah, they should just toss a couple colas out
Yeah.
there.
Share a Coke?
Yeah.
It's fine.
Share a Coke with a polar bear, as they say.
Yeah, they've always said it. Moving on to less terrifying endangered species, a species of giant tortoises native to the Galapagos Islands will not be going extinct anytime soon. And that's thanks to the hard work and dedication of just one century-old tortoise who, unlike 100-year-old humans, can still fuck like he's 21. And he don't need pills, or maybe he does. His name is Diego, and and just 50 years ago, his species was in very bad shape, with just 2 males and 12 females left in their native habitat. Meanwhile, sometime earlier, between 1900 and 1959, Diego had been taken from his homeland and sold to the San Diego Zoo. Those fucking assholes! Anyways, he was later identified as perhaps his last hope for his dying species.
Yeah.
So I guess it's good that they took him.
Yeah.
And they made him. Do they make him do stunts and carry people around on his back like those whales?
I don't know. I think they just put him in an enclosure like, here's Diego.
He's old as fuck.
He's fucking old.
Yeah.
Then they're like, wait, Diego, there might be a higher purpose for you. Does that dick still work? And he's like,
You bet it does. It's the only thing moving me across the ground.
Bet my dick still works. Show me where the lady tortoises are.
Diego, hurry up! You've got to repopulate your species.
I ain't no minute man.
Diego, seriously, we have to repopulate the planet.
All in due time. Bringing Diego some lettuce. Oh my God. I'm coming. Don't stop, Diego. Oh yeah. That's
They're gonna stop. They're gonna be like, you're doing this for watch time.
I just, yeah.
I love
They're
the
very
idea
slow
of that.
animals.
oh.
So yeah, anyway, so they found Diego at the San Diego Zoo. They brought him back to the Espanola Islands, where his species, Chelonoidus hudensis,
Sure.
that's the Latin name. They don't have a fucking English name, which is not fair. We're gonna call them the Diegos.
Yeah.
They were in desperate need of his man tears. That's his cum.
Yes.
And so Diego rose to the occasion, slowly, with recent genetic
That's why it
testing.
took 55 years or whatever.
They got all the time in the world.
Yeah, sure.
They're built into a fucking helmet. Yeah, so recent genetic testing indicates that he's the father. Diego, you are the father of nearly 40% of the 2,000 members of his species living on the island right now. That
He
is,
slowly gets off the chair and starts dancing.
When I was your age.
he has 800 kids.
Jesus Christ.
And he doesn't pay a dime of child support because he's already given them the greatest gift of all, life.
Yeah.
Let that be a lesson. Over on Twitter, Diego has, of course, earned the nickname Fuck Tortoise.
Good.
And, you know, some Galapagos tortoises live to be 170 years old, so it's safe to say that this fuck tortoise, he ain't gonna stop fucking anytime soon.
That's true, and nor should he. Constant cycle of tortoise pussy coming his way.
Step aside, young bucks. Let Diego show you.
How do they
to
stop inbreeding if
please
if he's making the whole?
I think at
It's
this
like a real
stage-
Adam and Eve scenario.
Yeah, when species become that endangered, it kind of like isn't that important anymore.
We'll look the other way.
Yeah.
Hey, son.
You inbred
You're
pieces of
fucking
shit.
your mom. Stop fucking your mom, kids. Call back to last week.
Yeah.
Anyways, finally, before we get into our headline section of this show, maybe you should go and take a little poop break. We know how long this show is. You can't always hold it in. We know. Actually, who are we kidding? You're almost definitely watching this on your phone while taking a shit. We see you through your phone. It has a camera facing towards you. You guys certainly let us know about it in the comment section every chance you get that's what you're doing. But look down at that toilet that you're sitting on and take it in. Unless you're me, you're sitting on a pretty basic toilet. Actually, we gave one to Elliot too. He hasn't installed it yet, though. Yeah. Maybe next time you're in New York City, go down to the old Guggenheim Museum and watch one of our videos on their toilet, because theirs is made out of 18 karat gold, and it's open to the public, baby.
You may be asking why? Because art. This golden toilet isn't just a fully functional seat for you to poop into, it's a goddamn work of art. And honestly, it's pretty cool compared to a lot of what accounts for modern art these days. It was created by Italian artist Maurizio Cattelan, who titled it America, which sounds like he's comparing our country to a bowl of shit, but he's actually commenting on the American dream of opportunity for all by placing something seemingly intended for the 1% in a place where anyone visiting the museum can use it.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Now, according to the Guggenheim, quote, its participatory nature in which viewers are invited to make use of the picture individually and privately allows for an experience of unprecedented intimacy with a work of art. Which is true. You can't say it's not. Usually you get yelled at for even standing too close to a work of art in a museum, and here you're allowed to actually sit on the art and poop into it. That's really cool. Now we have questions, none of which are, is this art? Because it obviously is. But how is the Guggenheim making sure people aren't just going in there and chipping off a piece of that gold, or just scratching their names into it like every toilet seat at the local Ralph's? God, in a sticky situation.
Here's my ex-girlfriend's phone number. Call for a good time.
Every time I have an emergency and I have to sit on graffiti toilet. Ugh.
Ugh.
Anyways, gold is a soft metal, and we're worried that this thing is going to be vandalized. It's going to be a vandalized shell of its former self in no time. Can't wait to see what it looks like when this installation's done. Maybe that's the message of this piece. America is full of opportunity, but also poor people shouldn't have nice things.
Yeah, they ruin everything.
Apparently.
Stick to your normal toilet.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the best real news headlines from around the web from this past week, starting with Paralympics 2016. The blind photographer taking remarkable photos from Rio.
He's gonna find you.
This guy, he's blind. He's just... Apparently, he's probably got it on burst mode.
That's what I'm saying. You get one of those new 1 terabyte SD cards, you can go buck wild with those pictures.
I'm a great photographer too.
He's actually recording video and someone else finds the best stills.
Yeah, he said he doesn't like the track and field because it's hard for him to follow. But the smaller sports, the ones like whatever the ones that don't involve big distances, the ones where he's like, just point me in the direction, I'm good to go. He likes those ones better.
Does he really say point me in the right direction?
I think he has like another person with him who's like
clicking the button
over the like telling him. I don't know. This is cool. I mean, he's a photographer.
Yeah, he's gonna come find you.
He's not gonna find me. What are you gonna do? Take my picture? I see you. Come on.
Picture the top of your head.
Yeah.
God, you hate blind.
I mean, good for him though.
Yeah. It's admirable that he's at the Paralympics and he is himself somewhat paralyzed.
Yeah.
The lack of vision. You're paralyzed if you don't have vision, right? Impaired.
He can move his body.
Yeah, but I mean, people with those knife legs, they can run real fast too. They can even murder their girlfriends. What's his excuse? King of West African tribe returns to landscaping job in Canada.
So coming to Fox this fall.
Yeah.
It's
a real fish out of water.
King Sod.
Yeah.
No, this is actually pretty cool. Guy, he became the king of his tribe in Ghana because.
Well, so he came back from Canada?
He married a Canadian woman a while back.
Yeah.
He moved to Canada, then found out that his uncle died, and that made him the rightful heir to the throne. And he's like, oh man, I gotta go back to Ghana and run this tribe.
But he preferred a riding lawnmower.
He comes to America, or Canada, sorry, the real land of opportunity. He goes there, earns his money landscaping, and then he brings the money back to Ghana to help the tribe build shit.
Good.
Yeah. So that's a real king. He's a king like in the sense of like Fallout 4, where they're like, you're our leader now, do all the work.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, as bad as it looks there now, at least the landscape is lovely. Beautiful flower gardens and greenery everywhere.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
It's good to be the king.
Yeah. Speaking of Canada.
Canadian Mint employee accused of smuggling $180,000 of gold out in his rectum. It's gonna happen at that Guggenheim too.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't take it. Search my pockets.
Search me.
This happened over like the course of 2 years. This guy, he was sticking
It's
it up
the
his butt.
safest place.
Yeah, and but it's funny because he's like on trial. They won't have a decision until November, but they're like they can't prove that he stole the gold.
Well, he's in a great position.
They can only prove that his bank teller noticed that he was bringing in large pieces of gold on a regular basis
That could be anyone's gold.
and depositing them for money,
Yeah. My uncle gave me that
and
gold.
that there was a slight poopy smell. No,
Oh, yeah. Hey, this smells like shit.
But yeah, they can't. They found a big tub of Vaseline in his work locker.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Every time he went out through the metal detector, they detect something and they do the pat down. They're like, all right, I guess
You still can't prove
I guess
it.
it's a fluke.
You still can't prove it.
How do we know he didn't get this $180,000 worth of gold some other way?
Exactly. I think he's in the clear. He's gonna be made innocent.
Dun dun.
Bum bum. Australian man patents the ham dog. It's a hot dog and a burger combo, and it looks
It
ridiculous.
looks so stupid.
It looks exactly like you think it does. No, he didn't slice up the hot dog and put it on top of a hamburger.
No, that would make too much sense.
Yeah. He
It's-
formed bread to look like.
Yeah, it's the most stupid looking piece of bread. Just looks like it's gonna fall apart in your hands. And you cut the burger patty in half, separate the halves, and then have a hot dog running down the middle. I don't know how you're supposed to hold this or eat
You're
it.
supposed to eat it like this, and then you get to the hamburger halfway through, and then you finish the hot dog.
It's dumb.
Yeah,
and the
it's real
fact that
bad.
he patented it, and also he apparently showed
no one's gonna steal this from me.
he showed this off on Shark Tank,
Oh yeah,
the
what do they
Australian
think?
version.
What do they think?
They
Oh,
liked it.
no, I don't want to invest in this, you stupid hot dog burger.
They liked it apparently.
Hungry Jack does one down his street. Because Hungry Jack is what they call Burger King there.
Oh,
Yep.
Hungry Jack.
Hungry Jack makes a good dog burger.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I've had a lot
Call
of
it
good.
the dingo.
The dingo. Ooh,
Yeah.
The dingo ate my burger.
Yeah. Now's your chance to eat the dingo.
No.
Payback.
I've had burgers where they take like a bratwurst or
Yeah.
something and they slice it and they put it on the patty
But this
so
is
it fits.
two separate things.
This is just retarded.
Yeah. Okay.
1 in 5 CEOs are psychopaths, new study finds.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
Yeah, anyone that has ever worked in a business that has a CEO that is active in the business in some way, that isn't just, working remotely or something.
It's a great way to be successful if you do not give a single shit about
Yeah.
anyone but
That's how
yourself.
they've risen to that position.
Yeah.
You have to stomp down everyone in your way.
Emotions are crippling.
They say
You're not gonna fire half your company if you feel bad about it.
they say nice things happen to nice people, but that is so fucking wrong.
No.
The nice people are just
Your conscience is a
down there-
liability, and that's why
down-
you're poor.
Nice people are down at the bottom, never asking for raises, just doing the bare minimum,
Yeah.
making it through the day, and going home and being lovely people.
Mm-hmm.
CEOs are just breathing fire and shitting gold, and that's why they're there.
Yeah.
Because they hid literally pounds of gold in their anus.
Yeah.
Yes. Naked man breaks into home, bites resident, then dies.
Is
He
it
was
the
like-
zombie apocalypse?
No.
Was he on bath salts?
Yeah, bath salts or Flocka.
Whatever they're calling it these days.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Don't do it, kids.
Just. You know,
Drugs are lame unless it's like the cool ones.
Guys, don't do the Flocka. Just go down to the Office Depot, get the compressed air.
Yeah.
Feels like I'm walking on
I'm
sunshine.
walking on sunshine. Don't do that either.
Yeah, it's real bad. Blows
It
holes
makes
in your
you
brain.
dumb. Man arrested for speeding in DeLorean at 88 miles per hour. Ooh!
Did he actually say
Was
that he
it like the Back of the Future movies? Yeah, it was like Back to the Future. But that's the story. I don't even know how this made it into the fucking news.
Because the tagline that went along with it was like, "No, I wasn't trying to go to the future."
But has no one in like the 40 years since the DeLorean came out?
Nobody's driving
got-
DeLoreans. Everyone that drives them are a bunch of fucking dorks that have remodeled them to look like the actual movie.
Pretty cool, huh? It's got the flux capacitor.
And they all live in LA, so they can't go above 40 miles an hour anyway. So
Out of time was taken, so I got into time on my license.
I got out of
plate.
time with a 0 and a 4 for the A. Because I know about leet speak.
There was a guy in an old neighborhood I lived in like 10 years ago who turned his Honda Civic into an X-Wing.
Good.
It was pretty cool. He had R2-D2 popping out of the top.
Yeah, whatever he is now.
I don't know, still cruising around West LA. Check out my my X-Wing
Beep boop,
Honda
beep
Civic.
boop.
He put a lot of work into it too.
I'm sure he did. He had a lot of free time.
It's all behind them. Butt chugging fraternity returns to University of Tennessee.
Are they still butt chugging?
Apparently not.
Oh.
Not yet.
Well, how did they
Maybe,
return then? Then it's just a normal fraternity.
Well, they had a 4-year. They were
banned
for 4 years after. You remember the butt chugging thing?
Yeah. But
Where
they
all
need to
the,
be back in butt chugging.
Well, it is like their calling card now.
Yeah.
I'm sure maybe they'll do like.
They need to go over that sneaky dean's place and shoot Budweiser all over his door from their anus.
You know, they probably just changed the hazing so they butt chug like fucking LaCroix or something like that.
Oh, that would burn, huh?
It's safe. It's got the same
Too many
bubble
fizzes.
consistency. Well, beer's fizzy too.
Yeah. Beer's not as fizzy.
My fraternity is not guilty of butt chugging.
Look it up. It's great.
It's great. Or watch Jackass and watch Steve-O do it.
Mm-hmm.
He's changed. He's off the drugs. Mexican police find van with homemade bazooka for launching drugs into the U.S. I mean, duh. They've been doing that forever. They got slingshots. They got catapults. They got that. They sneak it under the ground. Building a wall, not going to do anything.
But the wall just got 10 feet taller.
Doesn't matter. We have bazookas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also, drones exist. They've been doing that too. So
Yeah. No, we need build a dome.
yeah. He spends all of his money building a dome over Mexico.
Yeah. Put Mexico in a dome. He's just not going far enough.
Yeah, he needs to go further.
The Simpsons movie came out like 10 years ago,
Yeah,
and they had it all figured out.
Then they did an ABC show or something under the dome.
Under the dome.
Yeah, everyone was real happy, I think. Mm-hmm. They loved it.
Yeah, just build the dome.
Yeah.
Mike Pence says his role model for vice president is Dick Cheney.
Oh, that's good. That
Yeah.
makes me feel real confident.
awesome.
Yeah, great.
He's like, yeah, he really like stepped up to the plate. He took a very active role in the presidency.
Oh yeah, I also love. Well, he's preparing because he has to do everything.
He
if
does
they
have to do
elect him.
all the jobs.
But he also wants to shoot people in the face
Yeah.
because Dick Cheney shot a man in the face.
You gotta respect a guy with so much power that he can shoot his friend in the face.
And his friend
And
apologized.
his friend's like, I'm sorry.
That was my
I
fault."
shouldn't have been standing there.
Yes, that's power.
Mm-hmm.
Kindergarten student brings 30 packs of heroin to school. Do you have enough to share with the whole class? I do now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just in his lunchbox. It's fucking horrifying.
Yeah,
Probably,
it's terrible.
His parents are probably drug dealers. Mm-hmm. It's like,
Just
oh yeah,
like-
man, bring the lunchbox down to drop it in the trash can, and we'll exchange the money. He's like, okay, I'll use my son's lunchbox.
And he drops it in there. It's an apple and a banana and
Yeah.
a juice box.
The
Oh,
fuck, man?
damn it. No, this is sad. I mean, that picture just came out last week that the police released with like the dead heroin family in the car with the kid just in the back, like, cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Sad stuff. Don't do heroin. We've already told you. Only do the good drugs.
Yeah.
You'll have
air.
fun.
I'm walking on sunshine.
Not compressed air.
All right. After Texas high school builds $60 million stadium, rival district plans one for nearly $70 million.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Checkmate.
This is sad. School's sad. I was reading a whole bunch of things about the. You see the lunch news where the lady eventually resigned because
You're
she
not
had
allowed to feed someone who can't afford
Yeah,
food?
he was overdrawn by like $30. But the rule at that school is, which by the way, it might be this school or some in the district, but they have like $1 million stadium as well.
Mm-hmm.
But the rule for them is that when the kid can't afford it, they have to throw that meal away.
Yeah.
And give them the poor kid meal at the same time.
Yeah.
And so the lady was just like, I'm not going to do that. And a lot of the teachers have been paying for poor kids' meals, and that has also been made against the rules, so they can't do that now either. Which it's all fucking sad.
Yeah, fuck kids.
You're spending your money wrong.
Yeah.
You're spending your money wrong.
Well-
If you've got $70 million for a football stadium, like,
But
what
that's
the
all.
fuck?
This is Texas. That's all they have.
I
is
know
high
it's
school
fucking
football
Texas.
is fucking life, bro.
Yeah, but come on.
You think that other district with their $60 million stadium's gonna show us? We're gonna build one for 70. Then
It's
the stadium they currently have is very nice, but
I'm sure it is.
it seats like 7,000. But they're
My
like,
high
"Nah,
school
we need
stadium was
something bigger."
bleachers and a field.
Yeah. Well, we just rented out like a local like community colleges for ours. Worked out pretty well.
Sure. I don't get it. $70 million. Million.
Yeah.
There's someone in that school that isn't getting a proper education.
Probably the entire
Football
arts
team
department
and football team.
Yeah, the soccer team. They're still just like having to walk 10 miles down the road to the public soccer field.
Ridiculous.
My school had the I think it was the wrestling team. Their practice began by doing a 5-mile run down the road to like
Builds character.
some community college
Builds
gym that would
character.
like host them.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't that bad, but it was pretty bad. I don't know. We had a good arts department. Ours was the designated arts school in the county, so that was fine. That was fine.
Speaking of arts departments,
that fun day.
hey, Wasatch High School.
Where you at?
Where are you?
We got some.
I check the page every day, and there's nothing new.
We literally got some behind-the-scenes footage of them filming, but that's just someone at the school leaking it to us.
When
we
are
want
they
the
putting it on
actual
YouTube?
Videos. Wasatch.
Come on.
Wasatch High. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Make sure those videos are going up.
Don't let the meme die.
And watch our other videos over here. We got one about how YouTube is, they're on a roll. They're like, hey, you know who should police our website? Users. Let's give them the power.
Yeah.
Also, we have a new episode of Tech News Day, and we also have a podcast that you should watch, so check that out. Now I'm going on vacation.
Woo! Bye.